This guide will walk you through the steps to using SkillsMiner's reports, dashboards and data. The information contained here will give you a unique insight into your caseload and provide wider labor market intelligence. Use the data to help drive strategic decisions and improve outcomes. Click on the logo in the top left-hand corner. There is a huge amount of data available on this page, so we'll briefly describe each element. Depending on your role and access privileges affects what you can actually see. The first section is on engagement and shows you how your users are engaging with SkillsMiner. This first element shows how many session, or logins, you have had to your version of SkillsMiner. This next element shows how many hours have been spent on SkillsMiner in total. This final section shows how many minutes on average is spent during each login. This number can often appear quite low, but it is worth remembering the way people interact with technology by utilizing micro moments, waiting for a bus, whilst the kettle boils or in between tasks. Anything over a 3-minute average session time is considered good. This is a really useful high-level piece of data that shows how many people have been invited, how many have accessed, how many have completed, and if there have been any reassessments. The reason this at-a-glance chart is so useful is because you can get a visual sense at how well candidates are converting. From invites, to accessing to completing. If the gap is too big, there needs to be a greater focus on engagement. The locations table shows where your users are distributed from a geographical perspective. The styles and interests supply section shows an aggregated view of the caseload's work styles. You can quickly identify trends across all your candidates in terms of strengths and deficits. You can even plan training around the gaps, as these are universal skills that all jobs require. The aggregated interests donut chart is useful to ascertain where general interests are across the caseload. This is particularly useful when thinking of sourcing vacancies or working with employment support teams. The distance traveled reports highlighted here show the aggregated, or overall, impact of your provision and SkillsMiner. This means you can see where improvements have occurred between initial and latest assessments. These softer outcomes are crucial in demonstrating the impact of provision, especially where a job-based outcome is not always a reality. Vacancy engagement is a crucial element of overall engagement. Knowing that users are viewing jobs increases the subsequent likelihood of them applying and finding good sustainable work. You can see here how many jobs have been saved for later. And applying for jobs indicates candidates' overall motivation and confidence, as well as being a cipher for overall job outcome rates. In this section you can drill into which occupations and sectors are most frequently viewed, saved and applied for. Again, this gives clarity to where the caseload's motivations are in terms of the types of jobs they are interested in. Here we provide a view of the occupational demand of the caseload, by which we mean how many are suitable for given jobs in given categories. You would expect to see correlation here, between this data and the job engagement data. If you have the majority of your candidates suitable for clerical roles, and they are applying for professional jobs, then the success rate will be lower than optimal. This more generic labor market intelligence enables you to view geographic and sectoral labor market intelligence. For example, here we have highlighted accounting and finance in the London area and plotted a graph showing average salaries over the last 12 months. And using the same selection of data here, we can see the variation of salaries in the sector and location selected. This report breaks down the geographical data into smaller locations to indicate the biggest and smallest areas where the jobs are distributed. Qualification engagement works in a similar fashion to vacancy engagement, and shows the number of qualifications viewed, qualifications saved, and qualification inquiries. And like with vacancies, you can see which occupations and sectors these qualifications were viewed from. This hopefully gives you an understanding of how to view the data, reports and dashboards in SkillsMiner. You should now know how to get unique insights into your caseload and access wider labor market intelligence. Your challenge is to now use the data to help drive strategic decisions and improve outcomes.